What's up everybody, I'm Derek, this is Rocking eForge, and today I am bringing you another simple gift that you can make for those people in your family who like a little bit of rustic charm. And today I'm going to be forging a hairpin. So, let's get rocking. Alright, I am starting with a piece of 3/8 inch round stock today. Now, the length doesn't really matter yet, but I like having a piece that's long enough that I can hold onto it without a pair of tongs. It just makes things a little more convenient. But if you don't have a piece long enough to do that, don't worry about it. Now I'm going to start by forging a square forward taper down to a blunt point, and I'm going to be forging that about 3 inches in length before I actually start to square the stock itself. All right, so I've got this just over 3 inches. I'm gonna square about 2 to 2.5 inches of the stock up from that taper, and then I'm gonna work on a 3-inch reverse taper on the other side. Yep, pretty spot on. Now when I start this reverse taper, I know I can count on quite a bit of length from the drawing out process. So I'm going to start this reverse taper about 1.5 inches from the squared off portion. And we're going to draw that out and then draw out both tapers to wherever it ends up lengthwise. And I was looking at this, and I think I really thought the center was a little just too thick, honestly. So I'm just working on skinnying kind of the whole thing down. I'm gonna make the tapers a little more elegant, a little more fine, add a little more finesse to the piece. And I'm just going to separate this now, just like that. Sitting right at about 9 inches, which I think should be plenty long. I'm going to knock down or chamfer these corners, and then we'll start working on the center twist. All right, so what I'm gonna do before I put this back in the fire is grab my chisel and chisel in a mark right at the 4.5 inch mark. And I'm just going to do a split between the 4 inch and 5 inch mark. This is still quite hot. Between the 4 inch to 5 inch mark, because I want a 1 inch split twist here in the middle. Biggest reason I'm doing this somewhat cold is because I want to be able to make sure everything's aligned before I toss in the fire and then do it on all 4 sides. Then I'm going to use my chisel again to chisel across each end of the cut. And then I'm going to just refine each cut a little bit more. Oh, that was way off. Okay, well, we'll see how it looks when it twists. So now we're going to move on to the next steps, which is scrolling each end and then actually forging basically an S-hook out of this before moving on to the final steps. Now the hardest part of this project is going to be matching these on both ends, but I think I can do it. I'm going to spin this around and work on that scroll, and I'm going to scroll in the opposite direction. Might be a little bit bigger, but that's all right. All right, so next I'm going to quench the scroll so I can strike it without collapsing it. And then I'm going to bend this in so that the actual loop of the scroll contacts or is very close to the center point of the piece. We're going to do that on both sides. All right, so the final step here in this portion of the project is to just, in the next heat, bring it to the horn and lightly round this off over the horn in this plane so that it can kind of wrap around a collection of hair. And once again, I'm going to come in with my half an axe handle to accomplish this. Flip it over, and I got to make sure that it is evenly curved. It is not. That's better. It's going to allow someone to put the needle through their hair and through the other side, and then have a nice decorative little hair clip. While it's still hot, I'm going to give this a nice brushing. And I'll get in there with a finer brush. And then, while it's still hot, give it a layer of beeswax to seal the steel off from rust, darken the steel a little bit, and give it a little bit more of a cleaner finish. All right, so now that the actual portion that goes around the hair is done, I'm going to move on to forging the spike, the needle, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to do a leaf decorative element on that with the same piece of stock, that 3/8 inch round. So I'm going to set this aside, let this cool off. I'll rub it down with a cloth to take off all the excess wax before it fully solidifies, and we will move on to the spike. I'm going to forge a nice little leaf here at the end. To start, I got to get this down into a two-sided taper. And then next here, I'm going to come in, flip it 180 degrees, and forge on the two opposite sides and forge in the stem. And I'm using half-face blows here. I'm going to taper out a bit of a stem because I'm going to wrap this around onto the actual shank of the needle. And before I go too far with this, I want to be able to hold on to this with my tongs. So I'm going to switch tongs, and then I'm going to start forging in the actual shank of the needle. And I'm going for about 6 to 7 in the actual shank. So I'm going to start forging from here a reverse taper about 3.5 inches away and see how far we can get that drawn out. All right, so this is obviously already too long, and I've only got it down to maybe just inside a 1/4 inch at the thinnest point. So I'm going to cut this off at probably, I'm going to probably leave 2 to 3 inches on the stock, and then I'm going to continue drawing out the smaller piece into about a 7-inch overall piece, and then I'm going to work on the stem and wrap this around. I'm going to shorten it to about 6 inches. Depending on how much arch you've got forged into this, the thickness is going to play a big role. So I've got to skinny this down a little bit so that at the very least, this portion can sit centered inside this thing. All right, so this is how it's going to go. I've got it skinnied down enough that it'll slide in and out pretty nice. Next thing I'm going to do is just chamfer off these corners, and then I'm going to start working on the stem and the leaf. All right, so I've got my handheld fuller. All right, so I like the way that looks. Now we're going to wrap this around and turn this into the final product. A little bit of straightening and planishing here. So now we're going to brush this off. And then I'm going to give this also a light layer of beeswax. You'll note this isn't smoking, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the whole surface is covered. And then I'm going to stick it inside my forge that's turned off and let it get to the smoking point so that it actually polymerizes and cooks onto the surface of the steel. And that way it hopefully won't turn out overly sticky. And then as a last step, I'm going to wipe this extra wax off. Hey, you know what? This is the pin. I'm going to go back and see if I can edit out the times that I called it a needle. It's very simple, but you know, sometimes you get more elegance in simplicity than you do in complexity, at least in my opinion. But let's grab the keeper. We'll see how this fits through. Nice. Perfect. I think that looks great. All right, and that finishes up this project. I really think this turned out pretty nice as the first hairpin clip that I've ever, pin and clip that I've ever actually forged myself. I hope with the amount of bend that I put in it, it actually works. It is pretty much no tolerance here between the clip and the pin itself, so I might need to do a bit of reforging if we figure out that it is in fact not usable. I will put a pinned comment or add to the description later on if I did have to rework this, but that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you want to support me in the channel further, please consider becoming an honorary striker on my Patreon. That link is in the description below the video, or please consider becoming a member on my YouTube channel. And as always, keep on rocking. One try on that one.